welcome to the series finale of this amazing story, Arcade Kings, the story of family, brotherhood, and revenge. Because trust me, someone is going to be getting what's coming to him in this video. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get into it because mayhem cometh all around the world. People are waking up to amazing news. Their hero Max is returning. This is a joyous occasion. We see people on the street actively cheering for his return, but people that knew Max, people that really knew Max, they were not happy because they knew what this meant. This meant he was on top again. And Ken was nowhere to be found. Everyone was curious as to what he thought, but he just left, saying he had an important issue to take care of. This is when we are introduced to Max and his new form. And everybody, as they saw it, they were like, what the hell is that? Max goes on to explain the ridiculous lie he came up with. He was on hiatus. He went to train to experience a new form of power. And this is what he came up with. Not knowing, we all know the truth. His son was in the corner, unable to even walk. He had sapped him of his pure life force, and he was here flexing like it was his power. Thankfully, he had another son that was never going to let this ride. Ken had arrived, and everyone was shocked to see him on screen. He explained further that he was Max's son, and his workers started to lose their cool. Cut the feed, but Max said, no, if you cut it, I'm beating you too. He was tired of hiding. He looked at the camera and said, yes, folks, I have a son. It seems we have a challenger. Are you here to fight me, boy? Perfect timing. I want to test out my new skills. But Ken wasn't here to fight. He knelt down in front of his adopted father and pleaded, end this, please. I want this fighting to stop. Well, his father said, get up. Now. And he was pissed off. Ken, like a real G, stood up facing his father, and his father clocked him in his face. Weak. Haven't I told you? Never bow before nobody. No mercy. Even his workers were like, boss, that's tough. The whole world is watching, but he said, I don't care. Record this. And just like that, even the scientists started to pick up some new energy readings. Someone here was powerful, and it wasn't just the boss. Max goes on to make an offer to his boy. Kneeling before him, he told him, if you can land a clean hit on me, I will let you go. You could take your pathetic brother, and you could take that section of the city. Just land a hit on me, stand up, and fight. So Ken had no choice. He wasn't a fan of violence, but now his adopted father had given him something to fight for. So he stood like a G, ready to fight. Mustering all of his energy, he moved quickly to strike first, but he missed. Remember, Max was the champion for a reason. He is like that, and he reminded his son that he is like that with every hit. When he was done, he proceeds to flex on him, but Ken was never going to take that lying down. You beat my ass and then proceeds to flex? Face me, fool. And his father faced him, beating him again, over and over. He found this entertaining. You're so weak. How dare you stand before me claiming like you're the shit? But Ken said, I'm not weak. You are a failure of a father. You've always been a failure of a father. And now the inside matches the out. I'm not here to fight you. I'm done fighting you. I have nothing to prove. I just want my family. I'm done running. I have nothing to prove. I never did. And he unleashed his true power, his true potential. He was the shit. Just like his brother, he looked like a total demon. The readings were so crazy, the microphones and the cameras busted up. They could see the energy from the city. He was ready. But the thing is, he was done fighting for real. This explosion of power was just to show him, I had it. Now give me back my brother. And with that scream, that was strong enough to awaken the demon that slept inside his brother Joe. Because Joe was awake, but his father was focused on other things. Wow, Ken, you have power. I will take it for myself. Like a hungry vampire, he pounced, hoping to suck out every bit of energy just like he did his brother. But he must have forgotten. Joe was never going to let that happen. He sacrificed his future for this boy, and as he returned, he came back with energy, blocking his father with a kick, sending him flying. He looked at his brother. I'm back, and nobody will hurt you. I promise. The readings were going crazy. Both brothers unleashing their true potential was like being in a room with a god. They were oozing energy and swag. They looked good. But Max didn't care that they looked good. He wanted them down and out. He tried to attack, but he must have forgotten he trained these boys. They were not as weak as he thought, and now they could hit back with speed that could not even be fathomed. They struck him multiple times with all of the energy they could muster. They beat him in a nanosecond, and he didn't even know it till the attack was done. Till his body lay crumbled on the ground. Morphing back to their normal state, they said, this is over. We are done with you. Stay down, you piece of garbage. But Max was a sore loser. Even with his body beating, battered and bruised, he still chose to fight. Jumping with all of his strength, he went for his boys. But Joe was tired. Tired of running, tired of all the pain. Tired of all the fights, and with all of his strength, he launched his father through the glass down below. He was the golden boy for a reason, and now we all know it too. Joe had crossed the line. He had taken a life, and he could feel it. Things were different. He let it be known that he was leaving this place, and he wanted his brother to come with. He understands that he might not want to come with him, but he's still asking with tears in his eyes. But Joe must have forgotten they are brothers, blood brothers. Nothing could keep them apart, especially not a piece of shit like Max. Come here. With one big embrace, they united, brothers, once and for all. A few weeks later, back at the arcade, with Max gone, all the buildings, casinos, even the streets were up for grabs because he was the kingpin, so other kingpins came to get their share. But this arcade, this block is off limits. It's been protected by the arcade kings, and they don't show mercy to anyone who messes with their friends, especially now that Ken was here. But these guys, they meant business, but so did our boys, because they could kick ass, and now they were together. They were practically unstoppable. Now, if you're curious as to what happened to the company, what happened to Minerva, well, she took over and she had plans. And to achieve these plans, she needs a little help. So she calls for the boys, but the boys didn't want to be here. Joe didn't want to be here, only for them to look behind her and see what she was planning. A coliseum for battle. You guys want to be kings, right? Well, now's your chance, because she was setting up a tournament and they were going to be in it. God damn it, I can't wait for volume 2.